I'm James Glizio here with TechRaptor.net, and we are talking to Josh Fairhurst and Douglas Bogart. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, Fairhurst.
Fairhurst and Douglas Bogart from Limited Run Games, and I guess Mighty Rabbit.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Josh Fairhurst.
I'm Douglas. I'm Douglas Bogart.
Yeah, and we're Limited Run Games.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys have made a lot of noise in some communities over the last couple of months, especially I'd say the Vita community with how much Vita physical copies you've been procuring for the market.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say about that right off the bat?
Yeah, I hate the idea of an all-digital future. I hate that consoles are heading towards a point where we might not have discs or cartridges. It scares me as somebody who buys a lot of games to know that I'm not actually owning these digital games, and that at any point in the next 20 or 30 years, I might lose access to them. And the only way I could play these games that I love on PS4 or Vita is going to be piracy. I'd have to go to the Pirate Bay, download it, and mod and hack my console. I don't like that. So we started Limited Run Games to try to turn that around and get more games out on the Vita and the PS4, digital games specifically, on disc so that they're preserved.
I'll say another thing about the Vita is just, to us, the Vita kind of feels like the Dreamcast of this generation. So
I totally agree.
Yeah, so that's another reason why we really like the Vita. We are big Dreamcast people, and it seems like all our Vita fans are like probably the most diehard. So anything we can do to help them, they seem to be extremely supportive. So that's another reason why we go after more Vita.
It's really the underdog console of this market, of this generation, where it's got all the quirky games, all the really good stuff. It's got kind of a small library, but there's not a lot of duds on it. What's coming out for it is really good. It's high quality, but people are ignoring it, which kind of creates this really passionate audience of players. And it feels exactly like the Dreamcast all over again.
I'm just gonna cut you off a little bit there. If I remember correctly, you guys just did Oddworld at Abe's Odyssey, New and Tasty, really recently, and didn't the Vita version of that actually sell out faster than the PS4 version?
Yeah, the Vita version sold out in we like to say 10 minutes because that's how long it took our server to catch up with the sales, but we're pretty sure it sold out in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many copies of that did you have to sell?
It was 2,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
And anyways, so you guys have been very busy recently. I've been seeing all the announcements that you guys have been putting out over the last couple of days. So you guys have got Seikai Project, and you're also doing the physical release of Nuclear Throne on PS4 and Vita, I think?
Correct. Yeah, we're going to do... we're really excited about the Seikai Project partnership because it's not just Limited Run, it's Mighty Rabbit's getting involved too, our development side.
Oh yeah, I heard that part of it is you're porting RunPy to pretty much Unity.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's more of a wrapper for RenPy. So you can take RenPy projects and very easily bring them into Unity and export them to the consoles that Unity supports, Vita included. I'm a big fan of visual novels, but I don't want to play them on my PC. I want to play them on my Vita. I think it's the perfect platform for it because I want to play them in my bed, like I would be reading a book in my bed, rather than at a chair in front of my computer. So I really want to make more Vita visual novels happen, so the Seikai Project partnership is perfect for that.
And we're really excited about working with Rami on Nuclear Throne. We've actually had this, it's been a done deal for quite a while. Rami's always busy and flying out, and we wanted to give him time to get the game updated and get patches ready and just finally get him to sit down and say, all right, let's do this. And we felt like E3 was a good time to finally announce it.
Well, that's cool. You guys have also been hinting at, or not so much hinting, but talking about how you have some other bigger things planned as well. Not just Seikai Project, but apparently you guys have been talking to Koei Tecmo about the Atelier games on Vita.
Yeah.
How are things going there?
We're really pushing hard on it, and we think it
seems
like it could be a very real possibility. Yeah. So the game that we want to start on is Rorona, because we want to start at the game that was the first one to not come out physically for the Vita. So we're going to do Atelier Rorona Plus if we get this rolling, and then from there we're going to do Totori, Maruru, Aisha, and Sophie, hopefully. Just keep them coming. Because we really want those to come out in a physical form. I mean, just first and foremost, they're huge games.
Yeah,
so
all of them are like 3+ gigabytes.
Yeah,
it's insane, especially with the Vita memory cards and how expensive they are. And like that's another thing. They're going to be a limited resource eventually, and it's just going to be harder and harder to actually get games on the system if they keep going digital only.
Yeah, so it's a big shame that the Atelier games outside of Esha and Logi never had a physical release in America, because people want these games.
Yeah.
I mean, they never even had a physical release in Asia or Europe. I mean, it was just in Japan.
There's no import possibilities now.
Yeah, because with most Vita games, you'll be able to find the Asian release,
Or
like
the
Gundam
European
Breaker 3
release,
or
like,
the European one.
Digimon.
Yeah.
Digimon Cyber Sleuth for Vita.
Yeah, I had to import that one.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. And I believe that the God Eater games are actually getting a physical release on Vita in Europe, but not in, well,
Not
North America. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because there's a lot of people that want AAA games on there, so it's weird for me to think that Bandai Namco would not bring God Eater Burst or Resurrection. Is it Burst for the second one, or is that the one that already came out? I know Resurrection is one of them, or maybe it's just Resurrection and 2.
I think it's Resurrection and then 2 Rage Burst.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
That's what I think.
All right, I get confused on.
It's a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
so it baffles me that they're not bringing them over, because again, the Vita fan base is so passionate and hardcore. These would sell, so there's kind of no reason to not do it.
Yeah, I think one thing I've been seeing from a lot of indie developers, especially recently, is that the Vita is really a hardcore fan base. Like, it's maybe doesn't have the biggest sales numbers for the hardware, but the people that have the hardware and actually use it a lot. Like, I know that I like to play pretty much all my games on my Vita when I can.
Yeah, I agree with that. I play a lot of stuff. The longest game I played recently was on the Vita. It was Persona 4 Golden, and I don't think I would have played that on a console. I love the experience of taking my Vita wherever I'm going and playing it where I am. It's
And then,
just...
Vita fans tend to be the most vocal as well, and demanding. So
For better or worse.
yeah, so we're trying to cater to them, and like he was saying, we're big Vita fans ourselves. So we don't think we can necessarily save the Vita, but we can maybe delay the end for it. We want to keep it going. We're going to keep doing Vita games until Sony says please don't. So that's our goal.
Hopefully that'll be a while, because Sony even let XE release 2 PSP games in 2015.
Correct. Yep.
So I don't see it. I don't see them shutting it down anytime soon. So I hope that over the next 5-6 years we can keep putting out release after release after release. I really think that there's going to be a point where more than half of the games on Vita in North America are from us.
Oh, wow.
I feel like that's probably going to happen.
So I'm guessing that you guys have really expanded. Well, you guys have obviously expanded quite a bit if you're doing all of these projects at the same time now, where before you were doing, like, first you just did your own games and then you started kind of going to other smaller indies. So can you maybe share just how much things have changed since you guys started up?
Well, we started the company with the hopes that we would move into publishing other people's games. It was just that we didn't know if it would work out. We didn't know if people would want what we were doing. So we put our own game out first, thinking that it was probably going to sell out. Or not sell out, that it was probably not going to sell out.
Or take a while.
Or take a while
And it was only 108 minutes.
before it sold out.
Yeah. And that was a Vita game, and at the time we had no marketing for the game. The game wasn't doing well digitally, and everybody was saying Vita was dead.
But regardless, we really just thought that if this game is successful, we'll move into the other things. That was kind of what we were thinking, and thankfully it was successful, because if it wasn't, we would have gone out of business. So from there, I mean, it was just kind of a logical step to start moving into bigger titles like Oddworld and trying to lock down games that were really good and get them on cartridge.
The bigger we get, we seem to be building more trust with other developers. Like, it's word of mouth now. Like, other developers that have worked with us are spreading the word, saying, "Hey, you guys don't have a physical. You should do it with them."
And I'm sure with the bigger companies, what they look for is just the ability to actually handle the projects. And so the bigger games are digital only. You guys will probably have a better chance to get on board with those the more successes you have under your belt.
Exactly. Yeah. The things that what companies like Koei really want is to see us being willing to pay a certain amount of the royalties up front. Normally, what we'll do with developers is just pay for the cartridges to be manufactured. They don't want to let their big games out to let somebody else manufacture them, so they're still going to handle the manufacturing. So we have to pay for things up front, and it ends up being more of a distribution deal, but we would still be like exclusive distributors of those games.
And if we didn't do that, the games wouldn't exist physical. So it's kind of one of those things we're willing to bear in order to make this happen.
And that's great too. One last question, kind of bringing it back to the Renpai thing. I'm guessing you guys are going to license out your wrapper for it to let other developers use it when they want to port games to consoles, visual novels to consoles. Can you kind of go into details on what you guys are planning to do with that?
I mean, I think it's kind of the hope. Sekai Project is financing it right now. I don't think we have any of the final terms locked, so we're not really sure where it's going to go from that. But I do know that the purpose of it is to try to bring most of Sekai Project's Renpai games over to the Vita and PS4. And if they're not taking in other Renpai projects, you can be sure that we'll probably try to search some out to sign for ourselves.
In which case, it wouldn't just be you doing physical copies for those games, but also more or less, also more or less porting them too. Well, that's definitely interesting. I think that's. Is there anything else you guys?